See, first and foremost thing, I would like to thank Dr. Prakash Sharma for inviting me for this wonderful topic, which is Revive, Survive and Grow. Just to introduce myself, I am a qualified chartered accountant, but I call myself as a seasoned accountant because I have always developed businesses, and for 25 years I worked with Tata Group. I was a chief financial officer and head of business excellence. Now, after 2017, I retired from Tata Group and started my own management consulting. This management consulting is in the area of integrated performance management. Can you all see?
1 minute.
Can you see the first?
You can see the screen.
Yeah. So can you go to the next first slide? Slide number 2.
We can only see the. We are not seeing the screen as such. 1 minute. Hello. We can see the PPT. You have not clicked on it. It looks like.
I have clicked it. So I.
1 minute.
1 minute. Let me share again.
Hello.
Yeah. 1 minute.
1 minute. I am doing 1 minute. So now you can see.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah, Chandile sir, please go ahead.
Yeah. So just to thing is on this topic, this is one of the framework followed by say 60 to 70% of Fortune 500 companies, and in Tata Group we have adopted this framework in 2000-2001 time frame, with evaluating along with other frameworks also in place. So what is this integrated performance management framework is all about? So I will have Dr. Prakash, I will have what, 20 minutes to talk?
Yes, you can talk. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, okay. So to start with, thing is we are all living in challenging times, and I think Mahesh has also spoken about COVID, but COVID is also one of the challenge, and there are many more challenges even before COVID and after COVID is going to remain. So it is very important that in this dynamic world, it is very important for every organization to understand that in this situation, how to survive first. So sustainability is the biggest challenge today, because we have seen that many companies, they grow very fast, but they are not growing through a design phase. They are just, their growth is, I would say that default, a growth by default and not by design. So it is very important for MSMEs in particular, because MSME is in India is going to be the backbone. And when India is going to be $5 trillion economy in time to come, maybe in next 5 years, maybe in next 6 years, but it is likely to happen. So it is very important that if these opportunities are available to Indian MSMEs who would have a global aspirations also, so how this framework would be very, very important for them to get into a mode of sustainable, profitable growth. Now, it is very easy to speak these 3 words together. And I think Mahesh has also explained many things on revive and survive. But I feel that the biggest challenge in today's environment and most important objective of every business is to remain in business first. So to remain in business, it is very important that how one can sustain and then grow profitably, because over a period of time I have seen many organizations they have grown, but they have not grown profitably, and then due to competitive pressure, it has to see that they will not be able to survive. So it is how we can do all those things. It is by a framework, because lot many things can be planned. I have seen over a period of time in Tata Group, and I have seen specifically when I worked with Big Four and Boston Consulting Group and McKinsey's, that there are a lot of planning happens. There are a lot of people who do strategies, who develop strategies, who design strategies. But when you get into the implementation mode, you start finding problems, and the intended strategy doesn't give you a desired results, or sometimes results are very, very suboptimal. So as Peter Drucker, the management guru, has said that culture eats strategy for a breakfast. So this integrated performance management is all about culture of the organization. And Mahesh, if you can go to slide number 2. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah. So see, so here, like Mahesh has also spoke about that, in this COVID time, Reliance has raised money, which is India has never thought of. So it is very important to have strategic flexibility, and it is very important also to have a change readiness in the organization. So these are the aspects which is something which we have to go deep in and understand that we don't have to wait for the crisis and then start the strategy. So it should be an ongoing process, and it should become a way of life. Now, I have seen over a period of time that as organization grows, it grows into silo. Now you will have operation department, you have a sales department, you have finance, you have HR, you have marketing. Everybody thinks about their own department. But in today's competitive world, if you have to have a competitive edge, it is very, very important to have a systems thinking. Now, what is systems thinking? Systems thinking is all about understand the organization holistically. That even a person from sales has to understand what operation means, or how HR works, or how the entire finance function can be get supported from, or vice versa by every department. So this systems thinking has to be across the organization, and this is very, very important part. Then the next aspect is the thinking itself will not be sufficient. What you have to do is that systems thinking into systems action. That action has to be taken by involving the organization across the board. Now, it has to be done very systematically, that in a phased manner, you have to bring some change agent in the organization who have a right aptitude to learn, and then make others in the department and others in the organization also to get this learning acceleration mode. So I have in slide number 2 have put that in today's world, thing is when organization agility is the most important aspect, how you have to learn faster than your competition. And if you are not able to do this, howsoever you raise any kinds of strategy, or if you raise any funding, or if you do any operational improvements, eventually, and if you don't have the competitive edge, it is very, very difficult to first survive. And that is the aspect which one has to keep in mind. So can we go to the slide number 3, please? Hello. Hello.
Yes, Shandilya sir. This is the
Yes,
slide.
sir.
No?
Yeah. Are you on slide number 4? Typically, I think.
Yes.
So see, I have developed actually 4 dimensions of performance excellence. Now, the first and foremost thing is we have to diagnose the organization and understand who are we. I will come to in the slide next. Thing is when this particular one of the most important dimension, which is a starting point, how it gets into the key business factor. The second part is the design part, and that is very important for organization, that what do we believe in. So what are the principles and values is to be followed while doing business for first sustenance and then growth and then grow profitability. The third part, which is the heart of this integrated performance management framework, is the drive. How to drive the organization. In that, what we do and how we do, that is a question. And it is nothing but, process management and result orientation. Now, why I am talking about this particular aspect is that I have seen many other framework, but in this particular framework, it is very important that emphasis has been given to process management as well as business results. So both are being, thing is getting integrated. And the fourth one is that how good are we, and which is slowly and gradually the organization get integrated. When we get into the key business factors, but these aspects is on covering all the stakeholders, and the most important job and most important aspect for any leadership in the organization, be it a owner or be it a CEO or be it a managing director, is to balance all the stakeholders, because all the stakeholders have a expectation and requirement which is diametrically opposite to each other. And this is the biggest challenge which sometimes is being undermined. And this is one of the reasons where, thing is, we are tilted towards one particular stakeholder, and then it will lead to a peril. So I'll go to the next slide, which is all about the key business factors. So key business factors, which I have defined as the significant attributes of an organization which influence the way in which organization operates its processes. And this is a very important aspect, that when these significant attributes, should lead to a business success, because many organizations I have seen that they have a many business factors, but key business factors, which I have put in my experience, that these are 14 key business factors. If you see on the left hand side, they are all internal environment, and on the right hand side are all external environment. See, this is a subject where, thing is, I speak for 2 to 3 days in a training program. So if I have to sum it up in 20 minutes, it's a big challenge. But we can discuss if anybody wants to take offline this entire subject in detail, because each one has to start with a question, starting with what you are. So it is, these questions are, everything is what. And if you start assessing the organization, it shows you the mirror, and it shows you what are your strengths of the organization and what are the areas of improvement. So this assessment of organization profile is actually showing a mirror to the organization, that what you are. And this is being done by an outsider who can impartially explain that where the organization stands. We will skip, this slide also is very important, that this 14 key business factors, which I call it KBF, the linkages are to the 6 different processes, and which will take it up. These linkages are very important, because each key business factors has a linkages to, say, leadership or a customer, workforce, operation, and those linkages is to be first understood, and then we have to do right alignment. That is sometimes thing is being not looked into in the detail. So with these questions, are asked in such a fashion about the what, that ultimately these linkages leads to, how your leadership is performing, or how you are developing strategies, or what is your customer focus, or how your MIS and knowledge management is also getting operated, or how satisfied is your workforce and how engaged is your workforce, and how efficient your operation is. So this is something where, thing is very, very important for organization to start their business understanding in a manner for their survival and then the growth. So I'll go to the next slide, which we'll have to skip because of for the time. But there are this value principles, if one follows, the same value principles where you do some extra mile walk, an organization can become good organization to a great organization. So if you do it, I can share this by presentation also to anyone who is interested. And then and see, these are the actual experience in Tata Group from which we have prepared this slide. So it is very important that in past also we have talked about innovation, or how to focus on future and the agility of the business. Also very important aspect is customer driven excellence, rather than product and service driven. So this is also a very vast subject, and I would say that all the Fortune 500 companies, they have put so much of emphasis on these aspects, and I would say that because they have put the emphasis, they have remained in Fortune 500 companies. So it's a vice versa, and so this is a second dimension of performance integrated management framework. And now we come to the very, very important aspect of the integrated performance management, which is the third dimension, which I said is business and processes. Now, can you see the screen? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, all can see that.
Yeah, so
Please continue.
see on the top, what we talk about is the organization profile, which is talking about the environment in which you do the business, your relationship with the stakeholders, and your strategic situation compares to your competition and your strategic situation in the industry in which you operate. Now, I have also mentioned the linkages. So linkages goes down to all your 6 processes and the results. So the first 3 numbers which I put, leadership, strategic planning, and customer focus, which is actually driving the business. You can think as a front wheel of a bicycle, or front wheel which drives the business. The workforce and operation, is supporting the business. The results which is required to measure the business, and very important aspect, which is the support part, which is the MIS and knowledge management. So these are the aspects which is also, each one is linked to each other. So it is, and very important aspect is that if organization is not in the integration mode, we can see that thing is how they remain. And if I take you to the next slide, if you see the bottom most thing is box, which is showing the arrows as all the zigzags. So these arrows is nothing but the department where they are working not in tandem, but in their own way with that silo approach. And with this silo approach, they always react to the problem. And because they react to the problem, in execution excellence, they are in the bottom of the entire quadrant. If you look at slowly, gradually, thing is, if you start following this framework, you move into the next, I would say that, phase, which is systematic approach. Now, systematic approach comes when you start measuring the data and repeating your activities both simultaneously. So this becomes a systematic approach, and then slowly, gradually you get aligned. So here, thing is, if you see the arrows is in one direction. So the direction for the company also gets, and it gets matured. Now, the topmost field is integration. But in my experience over a period of time, I feel that integration is like nirvana. It never happens, because the reason is that today the business is evolving all throughout. This is so dynamic that it is very difficult to get into that box. But the best part is that your journey of the organization in terms of strategic leadership and execution excellence, both the axis is on the upward side. So this is the most important aspect, that you are on a continuous improvement mode. Then if I take through, the journey which we have talked about, so if I put into 1,000 points marks, any organization, thing is they have gone into step by step. That first, that will be early development. They start understanding the organization, where somebody shows the mirror and do the introspection. Then they start getting into some systematic mode where they get early results. Then improvement happens because of learning. Then they get into the good performance, which I said that thing is good companies. Then slowly, gradually they move into emerging industry leader, then industry leader, benchmark leader, and world-class leader. But so far in my experience of thing is being an assessor, I have never seen company in the 876 to 1,000 point framework. But if you look on the right hand side, the global image, if you look at, there are three kinds of the organization in terms of that maturity. You can say that there are beginners, there are good companies, and there are excellent companies. I will definitely go to the next slide now. See, this is a 3-box theory which also I have developed, that it is very important that this transformation, if we have to carry out, where thing is it is to be carried out based on your present. So the box 1, thing is where all things which you do, that cost reduction, margin improvements, leverage current competencies, this methodology, is all about that. If you have to follow, then if you don't have this, you will not be in box 1. So nothing is that your survival or sustainability itself will be at question. Now from present, if you have to go to future, it is box 3. And in box 3, what is happens is that if you can go to future, your business has to be first sustainable. And as I mentioned to you, that thing is that growth orientation should be by design and not by default, and the systems perspective. And this has to be done simultaneously. So it is like operating, thing is in a medical terms, if I put it, you have to perform an operation on a live patient, and organization is working, and you have to do this transformation of continuous improvement, and then we have to continuously focus on future, and this will be based on the management by facts and innovation. So this is a very second aspect, is all about transformation in true sense. So which will take you from present to future. And how we do it, thing is, so typically it is a very important aspect in the next slide, is that first, any organization should have vision, mission, values. Then it has to percolate down into corporate imperatives, which is the strategic goals. Then you have to have a midterm strategy, which is close to say 1 to 3 years, because now strategy in terms of 5 years and more, what would be, it will be very difficult that, you 5 years that you will be able to predict everything in year 1. So that is another aspect which we have to keep in mind. So maximum you have to have a midterm strategy for 1 to 3 years. Then AOP is nothing but annual operating plan. Then you have to, AOP has to be linked to your performance measures and key performance indicators or key results areas. And then there has to be continuous performance reviews and governance at every level. And this in Tata Group, we used to do it by way of a, thing is cross-functional team. So in every aspect, thing is in the entire journey, and in this entire implementation of this framework, the operation has to happen through a cross-functional team. So each department understand other department very well, their problems, their issues, their strength, and accordingly do the development. So with this, I think, I can take you through that, thing is how normally we do this entire implementation is that, thing is first we set up that awareness session with the leadership team. Then we have a one-to-one meeting with a project team. And this is in a span of say month 1 to month 3. I have put it that, thing is then we start writing the application. Then there are interactive sessions. Then we prepare the first draft and then project reviews with leadership teams. So all those kind of things happens as an action plan. So then organizations start understanding them and do more and more introspection and improvement accordingly. And just to give you a feel of, as rather a flavor, I have put that, thing is what are the service offerings I do in different areas. So I have mentioned that, thing is about the financial effectiveness and governance. We do actually improvement in enterprise performance based on strategic planning, annual budget, costing, and knowledge management. Then, thing is the finance processes to be designed. And I think Mahesh has also spoken about these aspects very clearly, that, thing is how to make optimum use of your finance through people and results. And very important aspect is that in today's world, you have to do a benchmark comparison. How do you fare in the industry and vis-a-vis your competition? This is the aspect which is to be constantly done. The third, so accordingly, I have mentioned all my strategic offerings, which is, also on customer focus, where, thing is I get into sales strategy, go to market, capabilities, engagement, customer mix orientation, pricing analytics, all the aspect which is about the finance. I have given you all the 6 processes. So each individually I have covered. So this is my last slide, which I'll take you through, that, thing is how the operational effectiveness, and see everybody talks about the supply chain, but here we talk about the value chain. So the difference is that, thing is value chain starts with, thing is getting an inquiry to cash, and not just, thing is getting material and then starting into operation or providing services and supporting customer. So it starts from the very beginning, and accordingly all your MIS, all your ERPs, all your I would say that knowledge management has to happen with this operational effectiveness, and also the cost optimization, and also continuous improvement as using different programs and tools. Very important aspect which I have always felt when I was working with Tata Group is the workforce. See, in any planning which you want to do, if you don't involve your people, I have seen that people are either disablers or enablers for change. And if they are not rightly and properly used, in a tandem, most of the time, organizations face tremendous challenges in strategy implementation. So we do assessment of organization profile or organization alignments and leadership development, also culture transformation. And very important tool which I always give a lot of emphasis is balance scorecard. That balance scorecard is one of the finest, thing is performance review tool for not one department, but for the entire organization. And at the end, very important aspect is that your employees has to be satisfied and engaged. If these kind of things is taken care of, and see, these are just, I have put as some of the service offerings, as in when we discuss and interact with any organization, we understand their pain points and then accordingly develop the service offering so that we are doing justice to our role as management consultant. So with this, I think I have taken my 25 minutes. I think if you have any questions, please go ahead, and I am ready to answer. We can take it now or we can take it offline also.
Yeah, I think if you can just put it in the message, so we can also have him.
Sure.